Hi, this is Jeff with the IT department, here to give you a video on WordPress advanced functions involving HTML coding. So let's go ahead and dive into it. As you can see here, I'm at the WordPress page on our site. It's eou.edu/it/WordPress. And in it there is a link to a training manual. If you go ahead and click on that, I went ahead and done that and opened it. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you're going to notice that there is an advanced user section in that manual. And this is something that's not usually, it's not going to be covered in the WordPress classes that we have on campus, but it is something that we wanted to add just so that it would give you a little more instruction. And we did put a disclaimer here just to let people know it does involve HTML coding. While it's an advanced programming function, we're going to do our best to try to explain how to use it for WordPress. So if you're uncomfortable with following any of these tasks on your web pages, you don't have to do it. Like I said, this is completely optional, and we advise that you not attempt it. We'd also ask, if you want these options but you don't want to do it yourself, we ask that you do not contact the help desk to have us do it for you. Again, this video is produced to kind of help you understand how to do it yourself, so you can input it in your website if you want. So let's go ahead and get started. Our first example here is how to set up a sidebar widget with links for contact information. So you can see I have a picture example here. We're going to go to the IT site, and this is a training page, but you can see over here we have linked contact information. So we're going to go to our widget page, and we're going to open up, this is the dash bar in the IT training widget page. We're going to open up the contact information in here. And you can see when you compare the two, if you scroll down just a bit, here's our example in the training manual. Here's the code. And you notice some of the code is color font red. We did that intentionally to show you what you would need to edit within this HTML code. So like I said, if you want to make this custom to your website, we recommend that you copy it. I'm going to copy this right now. I'm going to go back to our WordPress page. I'm just going to remove this and paste it. And we're going to change just the top link for this example. So we don't want it to say information technology. We want it to say, let's say, human resources, if I can spell. So basically the way this particular line of code works, it's going to display the title for this particular link here. Up here, this is what's called a hover over title, so it gives you another description of what the link is. And please note these are all in inside the quotations. And the last one you have to edit is the actual website URL itself. And you notice you do need to include the http:// you just can't have the www@eou.edu after that. So I know the HR page is simply, instead of IT, it's HR. So what we're going to do is change this URL so it points to the human resources page. We're going to leave the rest of this here. I also need you to make sure that you have the automatically add paragraphs checked here at the bottom. We're going to save this, and we're going to view this page and see what it looks like. So you notice on this we have human resources now, and it is pointing to the HR site. It's pointing to the old site. They're getting ready to move to WordPress as well. And everything, this one points to EOU, this one also points to EOU, this one points to the Oregon University system, and you can email the help desk. So that's how you add that function in your sidebar widget area. The next section we're going to go over is how to create a sidebar widget with a picture that also acts like a hyperlink. So you can see I scroll down to the WordPress training manual to go over that. I'll show you an example. The IT department has two of them in their sidebar. This one points to the technology ticket if you want to submit a ticket. This one points to your Gmail if you want to log into your EOU Google Apps account. So like I said, if you click on it, it takes you to submit a ticket. So I'm going to show you an example on how we're going to do that. So you can see here again we have some more code that we need to edit. Again, the red font shows the parts that you will need to edit. The first spot in red shows the URL that you want the picture to point to, and the second shows the picture that you want to display in your sidebar widget. And so in this case, we're going to edit this particular one. So let me copy this and take it over to the training site. So now we're in the information technology training dashboard. We're in the widget area. From here, as you can see, our primary widget area, we have three different things. We're going to add another text widget, which also means HTML. Now we don't want to add a title to this one. We just want the picture to show up. So we're going to copy and paste the code in there. But now we're going to change what picture we want this to point to. Now this, like I said, the example we're using shows the technology ticket one, but we're going to edit it. So we're going to change this to something else. So we're going to move over to our media library, and in the library I've selected just the generic EOU logo. What you want to do is you want to copy this URL and you want to paste it in place of this one at the bottom. This is going to point to that particular picture in the sidebar. Now the top one is a URL. We're going to change this to go specifically to eou.edu, but you need to remember to put in the HTTP. So I'm just going to type the entire URL here. So it's www.eou.edu. So we're going to save this widget, and we're going to view the page. And you can see at the very bottom we have a widget, and we're going to point to it, and it takes us straight to the EOU homepage. So as you can see, that's how you insert a picture into the sidebar widgets. Now one thing to note, this area here, you don't want the picture to be I would say over 200 pixels in width. If you have any picture larger than there, it's gonna mess up your display, and the picture will be wider than the actual sidebar, so it won't look very good. So you want to make sure the picture you use is actually scaled to size. Like I said, I would try to stay under 200 pixels in width if you can.